hello and welcome back to Let's Rock. As always, I'm Spencer Harris. I'm your host of this podcast. Let's get into this real quick. We got a lot going on. First of all, I want to apologize for the absence of last week's video. Had a lot going on, college and whatnot. But we're here for this week. We're gonna do this quick. Get into our news real fast. So first of all, let's start with last week's Six Nations. We had Ireland is able to beat Scotland 27-24. That was a great game. England beats France 23-20. That was an awesome game. I actually was not expecting that to go the way it did. I really thought that France was going to be able to hold off England and continue to push. But that's not how it goes. Unfortunately, not a big surprise. Wales beats Italy pretty handily, 48-7. Oh, poor Italy, man. This has been a rough Six Nations for them. But into week 5, and the fun aspect of the postponement game. First of all, let's go into the postponement game. This is the final round of Six Nations, round 5. We have 3 games going, no issues on that one. But the fun aspect is the week 3, the COVID postponement between France and Scotland. That has been finalized for Friday, March 26th at 4 p.m. That on Eastern time, of course, because that's where I live. But that one will be fun. We're going to skip ahead to that one, even though it's not this week relevant. But previously it was supposed to happen, so we're going to start with that one. I'm going with France beating Scotland. Plain and simple. I just think they're going to be fast. They're going to be able to have ball control at scrum half. He's really good at controlling the pace of the game. So I think France, not this week, next week, pulls off the victory there, which makes things very interesting standing-wise. But week 5. So the 2 games tomorrow morning, you have the first game, 10:15 Eastern time, Scotland versus Italy. Sorry, Italy, you're going down again. I'm being honest. I'm going to be straightforward. I don't see you pulling off that victory. Maybe next year. The fun game is Ireland versus England in the second game. This one has me conflicted. England's a strong side. Ireland's a strong side. They both didn't have a great showing at the start of it, but they've both come back since then. So I think this is going to be a great game. Which way do I want to go with that? Luck of the Irish. We just had St. Patrick's Day. Ireland wins it. And then the final game of the round 5 will be. Actually, we have all 3 games tomorrow. I just realized this. All 3 games are on Saturday. So, very fun aspect. So, correction to the previous statement. There's not 2, there's 3. All 3 games are on Saturday. First game, like I said, Scotland versus Italy. Scotland wins. Second game, Ireland versus England at 12:45 Eastern time. Ireland wins because luck of the Irish is St. Patrick's Day. Have a good one there, boys. France versus Wales. France is looking to come back from that loss to England. And I think they're going to. I know I said I wasn't going to doubt Wales anymore, but I'm doubting Wales again. France takes it, which means they go above. They'll be that win column will have a big aspect, which will bring down Wales a little bit into the thing, but the whole thing will matter on points. So the points are a big factor because France still has to play Scotland, which means if France pulls off the victory versus Wales and they pull off the victory versus Scotland with enough points, France can be your Six Nations champion, which will be a big surprise with how dominant Wales has been. But that's where I'm going with this. I'm going with the shock outcome. It's ballsy. It's pretty stupid, but that's where we're going. But into the more interesting news, well, not interesting, the more surprising news, is Ireland's 8-man, CJ Stander, has announced that he will retire at the end of this year. He played for Munster, and he's announced that he's going to retire from professional rugby at the end of the year. But he will stick around long enough to be a part, a consideration for the British, why can't I say this? British Ireland's Lions. So, maybe the 8-man has one more tour in him. I hope it happens. He's a phenomenal 8-man. I really hope he gets to have one more run with British Irish Lions. I want to see it happen. But that is not the only retirement news to happen this past couple weeks. You also have the off-man legend himself, the two-code rugby player out of New Zealand, Sonny Bill Williams, has announced he is retiring from both codes of rugby. This is a man who won 2 World Cups with the New Zealand All Blacks in 2011 and 2015. He also had a 2013 Rugby League World Cup final. They unfortunately weren't able to pull that one off in 2013. But he announced that he is going to hang up his boots for rugby. He also hinted a return to boxing, which I'm very excited about because not only am I a big rugby fan, big rugby player, I also love boxing. Boxing, MMA, the more contact you got, the more I like it. So I'm excited to see if Sonny Bill Williams can continue his winning streak in boxing, as he has won his last 7 fights in the heavyweight division for boxing. Let's see what he does. He also has offers to be involved with the Roosters, former team that he was able to win two championships. Let me check real quick on that. I want to make sure that I'm not misleading you. Yes, I believe so. Yes, he did. Well, anyway, might be wrong. If I am, I will correct that in the previous statement, but that's what I'm going with right now. As well as doing that, he was also a part of the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. The man has been involved in rugby for a very long time. He has accomplished a lot of feats. The New Zealand All Blacks have had a lot of their legends retire. But the beautiful thing about it is nobody forgets these legends. They're going to stay involved with rugby, I guarantee it. In that respect, CJ, Sonny, thank you for all you did in rugby. I look forward to seeing what you're able to accomplish with the rest of your life, and I wish you the best and happiest moments. Thank you for inspiring us, and thank you for leading us with a great motivation, being solid role models to motivate rugby players on and off the field. Thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing what your next chapters in life are. On top of the Six Nations and the announcement of CJ and Sonny, is we have. I did miss this announcement, so I do apologize for that. I should have been more aware of this. But the Women's World Cup has been pushed back a year. It was supposed to happen this year. They decided to push it back to 2022. This was the first World Cup, Women's World Cup in the Southern Hemisphere. Due to COVID, they want to be able to have full occupancy. They want to be able to have as many people involved in the stands and into the atmosphere as possible. So, Women's World Cup has been moved to 2022. I'm excited to see what else will happen in the future with that. And I'm looking forward to seeing how well these Lady Ruggers can get out there. And on top of that announcement, World Rugby is growing the women's 15s. Not only do you have the World Cup going on, they have also decided that they are going to expand the World Cup in 2025. They're going up to a 16-team tournament. More rugby involved around the world, more ladies involved in rugby, all good features. They also have set up unified international 15s calendars, which is a big thing. This is going to allow the international women to have more caps, more time on the field, more exposure. The game of rugby is growing, and it's growing big time in a lot of different ways. So it's excited to see how that's going. Hey, Dad, how's it going? Say hi to the podcast. I'm gonna keep that in because it's pretty funny. That's the old man. But like I said, Women's 15 World Cup is growing. They're going to have 30 global competitions set to begin in 2023. That's when this is all going down. They're going to do all of this so that they can expand the game of women's 15s for the 2025 World Cup. And in other news, we have the MLR schedule kicking off. The regular season schedule is kicking off this weekend, Saturday, March 20th. For those of you who don't know, Major League Rugby is the union professional rugby here in the United States and in Canada, but not really in Canada at the moment because Toronto is playing here in Atlanta due to COVID. But that is where they're at right now. But we have 5 games on Saturday and 1 game on Sunday. The 5 games you have this Saturday are Rugby United New York at San Diego Legion. That one is a good game that I'm excited to see. I think San Diego Legion are going to be able to control the pace of the game enough to win that one. New England Free Jacks are opening up at the LA Giltinis. The first regular season game for the LA Giltinis. They've had their preseason schedule going, but inaugural opener for the LA Giltinis. I never want to root against a new club, but New England, I think, is going to be able to pull that off. I'm excited to see how LA controls the pace of the game, if they're able to control the pace of the game. What changes they're able to do to be able to pull off the victory versus New England. Prove me wrong, LA, but I'm going with New England for that one. Then you have the Battle of the Atlanta teams, because Toronto Arrows, aka Atlanta Arrows, this year are opening up at Rugby ATL, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Home bias. I'm going with Rugby ATL. They had very strong showing in their shortened inaugural season due to COVID. They had strong showings during the preseason. I think Rugby ATL is able to pull that off. Down go the Arrows. The second to last Saturday game is Seattle at Houston SaberCats. 2 very strong teams, 2 very fast teams. But Seattle has been controlling the league so far in the 3 years that they've played. They are the only champions the MLR has had so far, because last year the championship was canceled after the postponement of the season. Well, the cancellation of the season, I should say. So I'm going with Seattle. Gives the Houston SaberCats the loss at their home field. Seattle comes to Houston and takes the victory. That's my call. The last Saturday game for tomorrow is Utah at Austin Go-Gronies, the other Martini team of the MLR. This one is going to be a very good game, and honestly, I could see it going either way, but just to balance off the fact that I said the LA Martinis, Giltinis are going to lose, I'll be nice. And I do think that Austin could pull off this victory as long as they're able to, as long as their forwards are able to control the game. So Austin gets the victory at home. The only Sunday game of the weekend is Old Glory at NOLA Gold. I like Old Glory's play. They're a fast, physical team. I think NOLA has a tough game on their hands. I'm going with Old Glory. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I apologize that this is going to be a short episode. We're going to cap it off right here, especially after the absence I've had. But still got some homework I need to do. Needed to edit this video. Excuse me. And my brother is in town, so I need to go spend some time with the family. I want to thank you all for watching Let's Ruck. I want to know, what are your picks for these games? Six Nations, how did you think it's been going? What are your picks for the Six Nation games? Are you excited for the MLR? Oh, wait, before we sign off on that, we have to talk about the law variations for the MLR this week, or this season. The first rule that I want to talk about is the red card is no longer a red card. And by that, I mean the MLR is saying that the red card is not going to put you at a man down for the rest of the game. They're going to, a red card is a 20-minute penalty, and then you can replace that player with another player. I think that's an interesting move. Kind of defeats the purpose of a red card. It's basically just an extended yellow. And the guy can't come back. So you're going to replace him, but it's still a 15 on 15. Not sure how I feel about that one. Pretty weird. And the under the post rule. If you score under the post of the in the MLR, they are not forcing you to kick. It is an automatic 7 points. There's no need for a conversion. You go right back to the 50 and get ready for kickoff. I mean, that one I don't really have a problem with because there's not a whole lot of misses from right under the post. That's probably that is the easiest point conversion you have in rugby. So it was, unless nerves got to you, it was almost automatic. And for most of those guys, they're not. The nerves aren't going to get to them right there. I mean, under the post, automatic, even before this. So I don't really have a problem with that one. Real quick, let's go to it. They're setting a kick clock. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Kicks will have 60 seconds as opposed to the previous 90 seconds they had in years past, trying to improve the pace of the game. Plain and simple. Don't really have a problem. Don't have an issue with that. Shouldn't take you a minute and a half to kick anyway. So, easy. No, nothing to worry about there. And the scrums, they're going with a 2 attempt. If it goes more than 2, they're going straight to kicks or penalties. I mean, that one's, again, they're just trying to pick up the pace of the game. From a traditional standpoint, I don't really like that one, but from a pace of the game standpoint, I mean, they just want more plays going through, play actions going through. So, what do you think of those rules? Do you think those rules will stick around, or do you think they're going to be a one-and-done situation? They go through this year and they're done. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what topics you want to hear about next week. I will be back to our regular schedule after this. Like I said, I apologize that this is going to be one of our shortest episodes, but my brother is in town, so got to finish up my other responsibilities and go spend time with the family. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. Hey, actually, say hi to the brother right now. Pep, say hi to Let's Rock.
Hi, Let's Rock.
That's the one I got to go spend time with. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend.